Hey guys, how you doing? So today we're running through a bit of a technique video. So this might help you if you have cleans in your program and you want to kind of get a coach's insight into what's happening in the real world with real athletes. Guys, I say real world, real athletes because my guys are rugby players, okay? Obvious, I know, but they're not Olympic weightlifters, okay? So what we're trying to do when it comes to sprinting, when it comes to squatting, when it comes to Olympic lifting, we're trying to take the best from the sprinters, from the powerlifters, from the Olympic weightlifters, take the technical model, mechanically what's best, and then apply it into our setting. And there's a skill acquisition element to that, of course. So these things take time, and there's a constant refinement of technique, or there should be. You should always be trying to refine and improve your technique and analyze your technique, whether it's your chop tackle, your dominant tackle position, or whether it's something like today, like we're going to look at Mona's power clean. So this past week we went up to 90% for 2 on Mona's power clean, and what I was seeing is that his bar is quite loopy. I'll let this run now and you'll see for yourself that he has to chase that bar a little bit and jump forward. So Mona is a loose head prop. He's 106 kilograms. He's a mobile loose head prop. And again, this is 90% for 2 of his power clean. So guys, there's lots of things going on here, but one of the things about coaching is you just need to choose 1 or 2 technical aspects that you can tidy up, let's say. Remove some energy leaks. What you don't want to do is give a full breakdown of everything that the athlete is doing right and wrong, and there's so much thought behind it that there's this paralysis by analysis. You just need to give some clear directions, clear constraints on a new drill, which is exactly what Mona's going to go into now that we're going into a deload week. So as we can see, the barbell projects away from him here, and that's not what we want to happen. We want the barbell to remain closer to the body. Here's a 100 kilogram example from our standoff, Tom Price, who's doing low hang power cleans. So in contrast to Mona, you'll see that he goes through the transition phase really nicely and gets into that start of the second pull nice and tall, and can really extend without prematurely breaking out his arms. Now guys, it's worth noting that there is going to be a variance in technique within the technical model from person to person because our anthropometry isn't the same. I mean, every body is slightly different. However, there are some key positions that we want to see. So initially I thought Mona was pulling too early and his transition wasn't perfect. And so that's what I told him at the start of the coaching session. But actually, as I watched it again, I realized it was his first pull that was just slightly off, creating too much distance, which then meant that he had to chase the barbell. So he was giving it a big bang off his hips. The barbell was going more horizontal than vertical. So if we look at Tom and we look at Mona, Mona just had too much distance at the end of his first pull. So we want that barbell to come up and back slightly to keep it close to our body. This means that as we transition and make contact with the hip, the barbell will of course project slightly outward, but not as much as Mona's doing here, which means he's losing energy. He's not able to express his full power on this lift because he's been off balance at the start, and he can't get full extension because he needs to chase the barbell and jump forward to catch it. So now we're going into a deload week. It's a fantastic time to bring in some sort of constraint drill and then use that as we load back up in intensity over the weeks. So with Mona, what we're going to do is use 60%. He's actually going to take 3 seconds to finish his first pull so he can really feel where he is in space. So that's a constraint. He must do his first pull in 3 seconds and no quicker, which is counterintuitive in weightlifting when you want to go really fast and be explosive. But again, we're trying to nail this skill and we'll add the speed later. I'm old school Exos, so it's position, pattern, power, or replace power with speed. Anyways, once Mona gets there, he's then going to transition and delay his pull. That's the coaching cue that I've given him. So he's got a constraint of 3 seconds to finish his first pull, and then he's going to delay his second pull until he's in a taller position so he can really extend. We're going to use that constraint and then load appropriately back up to 2 for 90%, which won't be his true 90% of his power clean. It'll be his 90% of what he can do under this constraint, but that's absolutely fine. We'll remove that constraint when it's necessary, of course, and then he'll go back to doing his power cleans, and we'll see what difference that has made in his ability to express and get his full body into the lift and tidy up his bar path. Now guys, remember, this is all within a 45-minute session. It's a very, very small part of the training week. Like, we're in rugby season, we're thinking about rugby systems, positions, rugby skills, but of course you want to concentrate on your technique in the gym and improve that as well. Previously, his technique's completely safe, that's fine, but was it optimal? No. But that's why we're here, so we can try to optimize the technique to express his full power so that we can then see that carryover and transfer better to the rugby pitch. But of course, just want to underscore that this is like a 0.5% of his week. He's got so many other things that he needs to be working on. So it's not like you're working with weightlifters when you're working with rugby players. You have to appreciate that. So the coaching needs to use a constraint-based approach. It needs to give the athlete precise instructions and of course load that appropriately and then monitor the bar path over time. Monitor if his technique is improving over the next course of the few weeks when we're working on this technique. Anyways guys, keeping it real with you, I'm a big fan of using the Olympic lifts and the variations for rate of force development for improving your power gain. If you want the full breakdown of the technical model of the power clean, is something we use a lot here, then you'll want to check out this video where I break each phase down so that you can develop your coach's eye and tidy up your technique as well. Guys, hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Cheers.